Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. That's real life ready.
Colbert's got a new Late Show with Arnold Schwarzenegger tonight on CBS.
All across the world.
Welcome to Australia.
One team, one dream, y'all.
NCIS Sydney, Tuesday, November 14th on CBS.
The cases you know.
My blood just going cold.
Dialed into every plate and you forget to eat your wings. You made my wings cold, DraftKings.
Flailing your arms like you can disrupt the free throw.
Miss, fool!
And a home run will have you crying like it's the birth of your child.
I'm so happy.
DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Kentucky. New customers, download the app now and bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Because life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Chris Allen here to start your News 40 at 10 on a Monday night. Pretty clear across the area after some morning clouds, sprinkles, and drizzle across the area. All of that is gone now. We may see even a touch of frost overnight tonight if temperatures continue down. As I see the trend happening right now, it's already 48 in Glasgow and in Morgantown, 53 here in Bowling Green. The trend is a little bit warmer over the next few days. We go into the mid 70s, but another big cool down is coming for the upcoming weekend, and temperatures will be well below average. I'll have more on that and our chances for rain coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight for News 40 at 10. I'm Morgan Hoover. Our top story tonight, new details in the officer-involved shooting happening in Allen County over the weekend. We know the name of the officer involved. The Simpson County Sheriff's Office confirming Chief Deputy Brad Harper was shot and injured. We're told he is stable and continuing to recover. Kentucky State Police say the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. The incident stemming from a chase where the Allen County Sheriff's Department says they were pursuing 37-year-old Jeremy Rolandhagen after he shot at deputies. Kentucky State Police are continuing to investigate. Conflict sparked this weekend in Israel as Hamas launches an attack on the country Saturday morning. Unfortunately, many visitors are stuck in Israel, one of them being a church group from Glasgow. And as the world watches the flashes of war, the pastor of the church took to Facebook to update everyone back home of their status in such an unforeseen situation.
We are really good. We're stuck in Israel right now, but we're safe, and that really is the most important thing. In the middle of all of this, Israel's defenses are incredible, and we're grateful for all that they're doing here.
Pastor Smith not only leads the River Lake Church in Glasgow, he's also one of the chaplains for the Glasgow Police Department. We spoke to the department today, who said they are ready for everyone's safe return.
We were able to contact Nick today around 11:30 this morning and just checking on him and asking if there's anything we could do here at the home front while he was gone. He assured us that he was, safe over there. They were in the process of trying to make arrangements to get back to the States over here.
Chief Howie asks that everyone keep them in their thoughts and prayers. And right now, a Bowling Green church group is working on their exit strategy to safely leave Israel. News 40 has been in contact with senior pastor Adam Shrouds, who is traveling with a group of about 20 people from Broadway United Methodist Church in Bowling Green. Pastor Shroud says they are in a safe place in Jerusalem and have been distanced from the war-torn Gaza Strip area. News 40 has also been in contact with some of the group's family members back here in Bowling Green and have learned that the Broadway United Methodist group has an exit plan in place. As the fighting continues, we've learned of several Kentuckians stuck in Israel. Thankfully, some of them now making their way out. That includes a Lexington native and professional basketball player, V. Sanford. He has been playing in the Israeli Basketball Premier League for a couple of months now. He played in Italy prior to the recent move to Israel. He is currently in the airport in Tel Aviv, awaiting among thousands of people to board a flight out of the country. He and his teammates were in the northern part of Israel, distanced from the attacks, but wanted to act quickly to be safe.
It's more of the fear of just not knowing. I think in our case, you know, we were in the north, which was borders Lebanon, and we knew the circumstances that were going on in the south, and with that, we knew retaliation would probably come in the north. So we just felt it was the best to leave, and but the main thing is just not knowing what's going on.
He and a few of his teammates were scheduled to be on a flight around 7:30 earlier today, headed to Greece. That flight was pushed back several hours. They are still waiting to take off. We'll have more on the conflict in Israel a little later on. More local news now. 4 sinkholes discovered at the construction site of a new training facility for Bowling Green's police and fire departments. Back in May, construction began on the new joint training facility that would be used by Bowling Green's police and fire departments and replace Fire Station 5 on Porter Pike. During construction, the sinkholes were found, causing crews to change the design of the foundation just a bit. This project has been in the works for almost a decade, so the city is doing its best to keep building on track and to mitigate any future issues. We visited the site earlier today and got an update on that project.
So what we're doing is we're now going to install the foundation with what are called micro piles, and think of that as stilts. So if you go to the beach and you see a house that's up on stilts, that's what we're going to do here.
Karst is a typical characteristic of the region. He also added that the caves of the region, they're beautiful, of course, but something you have to work around. Well, if you haven't registered to vote, time is winding down. News 40 reporter Carlisle Coppins has more on how city officials are working to get you ready to cast your ballot.
The deadline to register for voting is closer than you think. And with new technologies on the rise, several city officials and members of communities across the Commonwealth are coming together to motivate people to register and vote.
We've made modifications quite a bit since 2020. And 2020, as everyone knows, things that we knew about elections really changed.
The Warren County Election Education Task Force is spreading knowledge on voting, how it has evolved, and early voting opportunities.
This is the second election cycle in a row that we have early voting across the state. There's going to be 5 early voting locations, and we want to make sure everybody knows where they are so they can vote early.
There's freedom to choose when and how you vote, and anyone can vote early.
No matter how you're registered or who you are, you don't have to meet one of the criteria to vote early. Americans, we are busy, and we like to do things when we want to do it. And I think having that ability to go and vote anytime during those 3 days encourages more people to get out and vote.
When it comes to schools and roads, these types of decisions go through the General Assembly and Governor's Office.
This is your opportunity to determine who's going to lead the state of Kentucky for the next 4 years. That even though we tend to receive more attention and we're more likely to vote in national elections, it's state and local elections that tend to have greater influence on us.
In South Central Kentucky, because local matters, Carlisle Coppins, WNKY News 40.
We'll get to more news in just a bit, but I want to check back in with Weather Chief Chris Allen. Chris, a little chilly out there.
Yeah, it is, and temperatures are starting to come down even more along with the dew points. And when you start to see dew point temperatures starting to fall into the 40s, and in some cases getting close to the upper 30s, that gives you kind of a clue as to, under this kind of very stable air mass, what kind of nice cool down we're going to get overnight. So some of you north of Bowling Green already seeing some low to mid 40s. I would think that probably that's where we're going to land for overnight lows tonight across the area. So I'm going to go with an average of 42 under a mainly clear sky, and in some of the river valleys, it may even be cold enough for a little patchy frost, although it's not going to be widespread. You may wake up to a couple of patches of it tomorrow morning. I'll have the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but right now let's send it over to Maxwell with a preview of sports.
Thank you, Chris. We got plenty to catch up on when it comes down to sports from this past weekend. One WKU football star received several awards from his insane performance this past Thursday. Find out what honors are coming to the Hill. Plus, we have recaps from the first round of regional play for boys and girls soccer. That's all coming up in sports, Morgan.
All right, Maxwell, in health news now. Good news for those who are wanting to get their flu shot and their new COVID vaccine. Med Center has you covered. The flu vaccine is the seasonally updated dose, while the new COVID vaccine is designed to fight the most prevalent strains. Both are recommended by medical professionals to lower the rate of hospitalizations.
We have both COVID and flu shots available right now. They can be taken together. And the COVID vaccine this time is a new one. It's not a booster, but it's an updated vaccine.
There are resources available for those who do not have insurance, as well as a program to give free vaccinations to children. And it's that time of year again. Fall and winter are when highly contagious respiratory viruses start spreading rapidly. But there are things you can do to help prevent infection. Now, doctors say you can beat the virus season. Across much of the U.S., illnesses are starting to tick up.
This is a season where respiratory viruses typically occur.
Overall, COVID-19 levels are currently dipping, but it remains a concern, causing nearly all virus-related hospitalizations since the start of the year. That's according to the CDC. Some major cities, including New York and Washington, D.C., are already starting to see high levels of healthcare visits for respiratory virus symptoms. Georgia and New Mexico are also seeing moderate levels. But you can protect yourself, and that starts with practicing healthy habits, says Dr. Jesse Bracamonte with Mayo Clinic.
Make sure you're getting plenty of rest. You're eating healthy, you exercise, you're taking care of yourself.
This season, there are also vaccines to prevent against 3 major respiratory illnesses: flu, RSV, and COVID-19.
These are effective for helping prevent severe threatening infection of these viruses, so consider that.
Bracamonte says if you're sick, stay home. That'll help stop the spread and protect those who are vulnerable to severe illness.
It's not worth going for your social event or work when you can stay at home and hopefully prevent your colleagues or family members and friends from getting sick.
And finally, don't forget to wash those hands. Well, still to come on News 40 at 10, we are learning new details about the attacks in Israel and how they're impacting many across the U.S. The details in just a bit, but first, Weather Chief Chris Allen is back with a full look at our forecast. That's coming up next.
The competition is on.
This is nerve-wracking.
Do you have what it takes for Jeopardy?
Weeknights at 6 on NBC 40.
I'm Ashley Wilson. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on News 40 Sunrise. Raise money for our local Humane Society while indulging in some good eats. Plus, we'll help you end the work week with a smile in tomorrow's Feel Good Friday. These stories only on News 40 Sunrise.
Horses, bourbon, and the great outdoors. That's Kentucky. Original, majestic, and wide open. In one day, visit legendary distilleries, explore horse country, or put on your hiking shoes and get out there. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
At Horizon Pace, I have one doctor, not 4 or 5. And if I need to talk to that doctor and he's not with another patient, he'll come and talk to me. Everything's going real good. I come off of about 19 pills down to 7 now, and I love it. I wouldn't do without it right now.
Horizon Pace is the face of your healthcare. Contact us for more information.
I was raped by my stepfather after years of sexual abuse. I was 12. Anyone who believes there should be no exceptions for rape and incest could never understand what it's like to stand in my shoes. This is to you, Daniel Cameron. To tell a 12-year-old girl she must have the baby of her stepfather who raped her is unthinkable. I'm speaking out because women and girls need to have options. Daniel Cameron would give us none.
WNKY News 40 is always on at WNKY.com.
We're back with Weather Chief Chris Allen. Chris, I thought it was a beautiful day today.
It turned out that way.
Fall day, yeah.
Yes. This morning, though, we started with clouds, had a few sprinkles, even a couple of raindrops in a few areas, but got rid of that pretty quickly, and then the sun came out, and boy, we just had a gorgeous day. But how did we start this morning? We started chilly. Look at that, 53. That's the unofficial low temperature for Bowling Green as we got started this morning. And I can recall walking out this morning just feeling that nip in the air, and it felt so good. And some of you ended up into the 40s. Look at E-Town, ended up at 42 for a low this morning. Now, I think we're going to come close to these numbers again tonight, and probably more into the 40s here in Bowling Green. And for some of you that ended up in the 50s, I think you're going to be more into the 40s overnight tonight and into early tomorrow. We ended up with a high today of 73 officially at the Bowling Green Airport, 2 degrees shy of the normal of 75, and 52 is where we landed early this morning for a low temperature. But as I mentioned, I think we're going to go more like 40-ish, maybe 42 here in the city, maybe 45 in some other places or so. It's going to be right around there, but it's going to be below average for this time of the year. Right now, it's already 53. How about that? We have fallen that much since 6 o'clock when it was about 67, 68 or so. The winds are calm, the humidity at 74%. The dew point is only 45, so yeah, we're already in the 50s, and the barometer holding steady to falling occasionally. That's been the trend, and it's because of that frontal boundary, that very weak frontal boundary that brought us some of the sprinkles and the showers early this morning. But that front has now moved off to the east. High pressure is filling in the gap now, and tomorrow it is going to take over and bring us a beautiful day here in southern Kentucky. The flow here will be more out of the north and east at first, and then as the high pressure center moves east out, say Tuesday evening into Wednesday, we're going to be on the backside of that high pressure, and that means a warmer flow as we get into the middle of the week. And so steadily, as you saw in that graph at the beginning, we're going to stair step up a little bit more each day into the mid 70s. But we're not talking about 80-degree temperatures, not even upper 70s. We're talking about low to mid 70s start to take over. As we get into Tuesday night into Wednesday, we'll start to see more moisture gathering out in the central plains and the middle Mississippi Valley and parts of the Midwest. Some shower activity as the tail end of this front starts to make its way into southern Kentucky. We'll see an increase in clouds on Wednesday afternoon, and I think Wednesday night into Thursday we'll start to see some shower chances ramping up here, but especially I think on Friday is going to be the better chance of getting some rain. As you see there, 72 tomorrow, 74 Wednesday, a few clouds, 75 Thursday, 76 the better chance of rain and thunderstorms on Friday. Unfortunately, it looks like Friday night could be a little bit wet across the area. 63 on Saturday, then much cooler, upper 50s for Sunday and Monday, and still a few chances of showers left hanging around. And we're back with more News 40 at 10 right after this.
Are your basement walls bowing or cracked? USS is here to help. Cracks along your basement wall are telltale signs moisture is collecting in the soil against your foundation, causing the weakest point of your wall to bow. USS has the support you need with our innovative Invisibeam. It's the strongest carbon fiber strap on the market and the only one ICC certified with a lifetime warranty. Visit USS-KY.com for a free estimate.
We'll guarantee our best. Call USS.
I usually vote Republican, but I'm also voting for Andy Beshear. I definitely feel that Kentucky's moving forward under Andy's leadership. He brings great ideals to the floor. Andy's the guy that's been bringing the two parties together. Beshear's brought a lot of good jobs to the state of Kentucky. He makes sure that the police have everything they need to keep us safe. Andy cut the income tax. That's a big deal, huge deal. I voted for Trump because I felt he was putting the American people first. I'm going to support Andy because I do feel he's putting Kentucky first.
I'm attorney Deborah Brose. I am committed to my clients across South Central Kentucky. But don't just take it from me. If you've suffered a personal injury, I can help. Call our office today for a free consultation.
Hey y'all, it's Bree with the Pie Queen's Pantry. Don't forget to tune in this week. We're getting ready for Halloween season and we're gonna make some spooky sprinkled cookies. See you this week on the Pie Queen's Pantry.
My dad and I started Blankenship & Sons Pest Control in 1975. We came to the family farm here and decided we'd open our own business here.
I was the only one working it for a while, but it expanded real fast.
In 2000, we purchased Guarantee Pest Control, and we operate both companies exactly the same training, same everything. What we like to do is use traditional values and mix them with new technologies to come to the best possible outcome.
We live the bug life. You can bug us anytime.
Well, the site of one of the first and deadliest attacks this weekend was at an Israeli music festival, where thousands of mostly young people were dancing and celebrating with friends. Before it was over, at least 260 people were killed. Others are still missing, believed to have been kidnapped. Tonight, we're hearing from one of the survivors.
The party was still going as the sun rose over the Negev desert in southern Israel. Then, chaos, as heavily armed Hamas gunmen, some on paragliders, made the festival one of their first targets, shooting into the crowd and grabbing as many captives as they could, including 25-year-old Noah Argamani, forced onto the back of a Hamas gunman's motorcycle. Her father, Yaakov, is desperate for her to return home, but says Israel must not do so by force. Only by peaceful measures, he says. We need to act with sensitivity. Let's talk. Since Argamani's abduction, unverified video apparently shows her being held inside Gaza. As the brutal aftermath of Hamas's festival attack is laid bare, the remains of at least 260 people have now been recovered, according to a rescue group. 22-year-old Gal Levy barely managed to get out alive.
We heard the bullets like... Everybody started running in panic.
Levy was shot in both legs and shows us one of the bullets that was removed by surgeons. He says he's not sure if he'll ever walk again.
But they just left us over there. I was waiting 6 hours.
So you feel let down by the military, by the government?
I feel left down by the army. I was really sure after the guy that came, the terrorist, they take our phone, that's it. I'm gonna die.
As Israelis try to come to terms with the horrors so many have experienced, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned a number of Hamas gunmen are still on the loose here inside Israel. Imtiaz Taib, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
And as the conflict continues between Israel and Hamas, the White House has confirmed at least 11 Americans have been killed. It's not yet clear how many U.S. citizens are missing. Some Americans may be among those being held by Hamas. President Biden says he's directed his team to work with their Israeli counterparts on every aspect of the hostage crisis. The president has pledged his full support to the government and the people of Israel. And due to the ongoing chaos today, American Airlines has canceled all flights to and from Tel Aviv amid Hamas' ongoing attack. This comes after the union representing American Airlines pilots issued a warning to members about the dangers to the airspace. The union warned crews to turn down any assignment into Israel until the region's safety and security is assured. In response, American said flights in and out of Tel Aviv would be canceled through Friday. And the war between Israel and Hamas is raising crude oil prices. There are growing concerns those soaring costs could soon reach gas pumps here in the U.S. It comes as drivers are finally seeing slumping prices after a busy summer season. Jen Sullivan has a look at why that relief could be in jeopardy.
An escalating conflict overseas, impacting crude oil prices, rattling global stocks. And raising concerns here at home that prices at U.S. gas pumps could soon soar.
If the theater of war gets expanded from Israel and the Gaza to other parts of the Middle East, you could see some real impact.
While Israel is not a major oil producer, prolonged tensions in the Middle East could trigger global investors in the long term, fearing the conflict could spread further and impact the fragile global economic recovery. And analysts say that's especially worrisome if oil producer Iran becomes actively involved in the conflict.
It really could alter the calculus for oil supplies and prices coming out of that region that exports about 20 million barrels a day to the rest of the world.
As of Monday afternoon, the average price for a gallon of regular gasoline in the United States was $3.70. According to AAA, that's 11 cents below a week ago. Analyst Tom Closa says despite the war, the impact isn't going to trickle down to consumers right away. And more relief for drivers is actually on the way.
For the next 60 days, you're going to see gasoline prices become much more palatable. You're going to see disinflation for gasoline.
The conflict comes as gas prices in the United States are falling significantly as demand drops off and the industry uses cheaper winter blends to sell to consumers.
Stay with us. Maxwell Trink is in with a look at sports right after this.
The Sonic 2 for $7 deal lets you choose from the Sonic cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, or foot-long chili cheese coney. Any two for $7. Because that friend that says they only want one bite never just wants one bite. Sonic 2 for $7 deal.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
Life is a series of timely decisions. Will you be ready? Pathways Senior Care Advisors are here to help you navigate the right path. Call Pathways Senior Care Advisors Mary Coron and Stacy Carter for your free consultation at 270-901-1878 or visit pathwayssca.com. Better informed, better choices.
Prepare your child for a bright future by exploring fun at the Born Learning Trails. Each Born Learning Trail has a series of 10 interactive signs that offer fun and active learning activities for young children and their families.
Fly around and tweet, tweet.
United Way of Southern Kentucky invites you to explore a free trail near you today. Visit uwsk.org for a full list of park locations and to learn more. Happy trails!
All-wheel drive season is coming. Changes, weather, road conditions. What doesn't change? Toyota's capability to keep pushing on with a family of trucks built to outlast and outlive any adventure. Like the powerful new Tundra, the most capable Tundra ever, with towing up to 12,000 pounds and the best resale value in its class. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Change is coming. Stay ahead with Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's time, y'all. It's a new season in NYC.
Weekdays at 3 on NBC 40.
With Sonic Trick or Treat Blasts, you get Oreo cookie pieces, Heath Toffee, and M&M's minis blended together in one enchanting treat. Give your inner child some dessert, or it might throw a minor temper tantrum. Sonic Trick or Treat Blasts.
Welcome into sports. Fourth Region boys and girls soccer action was continuing this afternoon. The Barron County Trojans took on the South Warren Spartans at the pit in the first match of boys action tonight. The Spartan offense was just dominant, scoring 9 goals in the first half. They take this one 10-0. They'll be facing Franklin Simpson, who also won tonight in the next round on Wednesday afternoon. And in girls action happening at Warren Central High, Greenwood punched their ticket to the next round of the 4th Region tournament. The Gators routed the Raiders 4-0, advancing as one of the top teams in the region. They will face Russellville, who also won tonight. Their game going into double overtime. That will be also played on Wednesday. To the Hill now, SWK Volleyball took care of business over the weekend, winning both matches against Jacksonville State in straight sets. The Tops are now 6-0 in conference play. Gabby Y earned Conference USA's Freshman of the Week for the second time. Head coach Travis Hudson spoke ahead of the matchup against New Mexico State on how the teams will meet for the first time in nearly 20 years.
So it felt like it was only 10 years ago, but geez, it's been 20 years ago. And but it was a great rivalry back then. They have a great fan base, at New Mexico State. And so it's going to be a buzzsaw we walk into down there on Friday.
Well, in WKU's win against La Tech last Thursday, receiver Malachi Corley went 3 touchdowns, 207 yards in 8 receptions. Today, Corley nabbed a trio of awards, including the Senior Bowl Co-Offensive Player of the Week, Shrine Bowl Offensive Breakout Player of the Week, and CUSA Offensive Player of the Week. Corley and the rest of the Tops will recharge throughout the next couple of days on their bye week. And the Louisville Cardinals moved to 6-0 on the season after stunning the 10th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish on Saturday. The Cards were able to pick off Sam Hartman 3 times, while Jawar Jordan led the offense, rushing for over 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Head coach Jeff Brom knows this team needs to keep their heads up as they face off against their next opponent.
If we don't put the work in, we're not going to win. That's just how it works. So if we don't understand that, it'll bite us in the rear end. I've been there before. You know, we had 3 top 5 wins at Purdue in 6 years, and every time we won, the next week we lost. So I understand how this game works. Hopefully our players do. We just got to concentrate on one game at a time, and Pittsburgh is a great challenge ahead of us.
And Kentucky lost their first game. It was against Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia scored 51 points. After the road loss, head coach Mark Stoops said that his team will be defined by how they play in the following weeks.
You're going to face adversity. In this league, the teams we play, you're going to hit some tough patches. It's how you respond and how you react to it and how you move forward.
And the Titans lost to the Colts on Sunday 23-16. The team is now last place in the AFC South, heading into a matchup in London against the Baltimore Ravens. Head coach Mike Vrabel broke down how his team is prepping for this week across the pond.
Have everything that we need here at the facility. Work ahead, make Tuesday a Wednesday, Wednesday a Thursday, Friday, and so on and so forth. Get over there, get adjusted, have a Friday practice, clean up a lot of the stuff that we did, and then have our normal preparation for the game. I've talked to a lot of people that have done it both ways, and that's how we did it the last time. Felt like we were ready to go.
That's a look at sports. We'll be right back.
Jeez. Hey, Trent. What's going on? You've been here for 7 hours.
I'm having problems with the son. This ain't right. I'm coming back tomorrow.
I should have called JB. Trent. Jeez.
Should have called JB Electric. At JB Electric, when it comes to electricity, we don't mess around. Make the right call. Call JB Electric.
All-wheel drive season is coming. Changes, weather, road conditions. What doesn't change? Toyota's commitment to giving you the freedom to explore with more all-wheel drive choices, like the adventurous RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now get a new RAV4 with low 3.99 APR financing or 4.99 on an electrified RAV4 hybrid, plus 2 years no-cost maintenance. Change is coming. Stay ahead with RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi, I'm Hiram Kemp.
Hi, I'm Neil Pollard.
We're the hosts of The Light of the World.
Please join us on WNKY NBC 40.
Every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Our aim is to reflect Jesus, the true light. Hope to see you here.
2 candidates, big differences. Joe Biden helps bankroll Bashir's agenda, because Bashir backs Biden, and we get Biden's border crisis. Bashir even vetoed a major tax cut, as Biden's inflation crushed Kentucky families. Daniel Cameron is endorsed by President Trump and law enforcement. He'll eliminate the income tax, grow jobs. And Daniel sued Biden to secure the border. Send these guys a message. Vote Daniel Cameron for governor.
Have big dreams for your space? When looking for home decor ideas, you want BG Home Furnishings.
BG Home Furnishings designers are here to bring your dream home to life with one-on-one design help. Personalized advice from the best has never been this easy, accessible, and valuable. The BG at Home team handpicks from over 100 brands to create a selection of furniture and home decor that is tailored to your style.
Call us today to set up your free in-home design consultation.
WNKY News 40 is always on at WNKY.com.
Welcome back. Well, Chris, we're now getting ready for those like chilly nights.
Yeah, we're going to have a few of those where we drop into the 40s, and I think it's going to be more everybody tonight's going to drop into the 40s, probably the low 40s. Then we go 72 tomorrow, mid-70s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably the stormiest day if there is one.
Fun.
Sorry, Maxwell. Football frenzy is going to be fun.
A little wet.
A frenzy.
A frenzy.
We'll see you back here in the morning.